Okay, use read write everything. Run as administrator to extract all the ACPI table. So SSDSDT is the first one. Save it as bin and then all file and name it with extension AML. Start off from the left with SSDT and name it as 1.aml. And then the next one is 2. And this is the 4400 Haswell, so I have 4 SSDT. Now we want to get the product ID from Windows. You can also click it there and copy that. Okay, today I'm going to make a tutorial on how I set up my Clover so that I can get almost perfect El Capitan on the HD4400 Haswell i7 U4510U. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to download Clover. So if you type Clover, it will come up. And to download the latest revision of Clover, click here. Wow, 3292. Alright. But I'm using right now that is working is the 3280. And let's go to Clover folder and drag this one over. Okay. Unzip it. The new one is 3292, so I don't know what it does. Anyway, let's try it. So when you open this up, and the important thing is this, it will default to El Capitan X11, which is my volume for my El Capitan. Customize it. So what we want to do is UEFI, booting only. Install Clover in ESP is default. The theme, so I only use the Clover, right? iClover, so I have it there. And then the drivers. So if you look in here, they have a lot of drivers already. But actually you need the extra 2 HSFS and HFS+.EFI. Here they don't have it, so you need those 2. Install RC script on the target volume, that's fine. Okay. So install. You're going to enter the password and then it will install for you, but I'm not going to install it because my 3280 is working, so I'm going to cancel it. Okay, it will fail, but that's okay. When you did the installation, they will mount your EFI for you automatically. Mine is no name. So when you open it up, you have to add HFS plus NTFS.EFI onto the driver 64 UEFI to make it perfect. No name, which is my EFI folder. Inside there, they have a folder called EFI, and inside the EFI, you have Apple Boot Clover, So inside of Clover you have, it's called the ACPI folder. And inside of the ACPI folder you have a patch folder, and it should be empty. But mine is not empty because I try and error so many of the SDT and SSDT. So now, if you look in here, I have the DSDT that I've been using and the SSDT. So this is very important. The SSDT, these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the original one that we extracted from Read Write Everything. Okay? And we do have to compile them and patch. So SSDT4 is the GFX. So I have to patch it so that we will have the HDMI to work, the graphics to work. So, but other one, just compile. Okay. Now there's one more. It's called SSDT0. This is the one that we need to use a program called SSDT PR generation from Pike Alpha, I believe. You have to use the terminal, drag it in there, and I use the XPCM equal to 1. So all you do is do minus x 1. Okay? Hit enter. I don't have any of extra folder, so say no. I don't need to see that. So now when you go in, if you set it up correctly according to the website, just go there, right? And you go to Brandon Library, and then you go down and you will see SSDT PR Gen folder, and inside there it will generate the one. It's called SSDT. They have many, but only choose the latest one, was SSDT AML. You open it up, it's almost the same as my SSD0, and look at this, XCPM mode equal to 1. Alright, so everything is there, and this is for El Capitan. Okay, so this one is in my ACPI folder. Okay, now so many of these in here. The important thing is that we need to look at the config file. So this is my config of the Clover. So look in here, ACPI, SSDT, DSDT. What do I use? I use DSDT file that I already patched. And if I look into the patch, it must be there. So this is the one I use. Alright, it matches that. So I tell config to go here and load this DSDT. Now this one, every trial and error, it will sleep, wake without any problem. Close the lid, open the lid, click the button, whatever, it will be there. So the SSDT sort order 0, which the SSDT PR generation, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. The config file is the most important one. So the boot, what do you do with it? In El Capitan, I don't have anything in the argument. The timeout, I put 7 seconds. It's automatically boot after 7 seconds if I'm not there. The default volume I put is exactly the same name as my volume. Okay. With El Capitan, there's nothing like the Yosemite. XMP detection, I put yes. Ignore V, RAM boot, I said no. Legacy's PBR is fine. Never hibernate, yes. I don't want it to hibernate. So what's inside the device? So the audio, my patch, Apple HDA, the layout is 3, so I use 3. Okay. The fake ID, what do I use? This is the HD4400. So you have to inject this address, the ID, which is 0412, not 0426 or 16. USB, well, no and yes. Disable driver. The mouse just never works, so it doesn't matter what you put, okay? The graphics is a dual link and IGPI platform is 0826 and revision the ID 6, so make sure it's there. Kernel and patches. I patch Apple, RTC, Asus, and also kernel Lapic, yes. Kernel power management, yes. And the kexts to patch. So the kexts to patch, what do? I have 11 items, but actually I only use a few. The first one is my handoff hotspot for my Bluetooth. This is a dual band Azure Wave CE123H, or it's be a Broadcom 94352 HMB, either one. The name is like that. Item number 1 I have, you have to patch this one for the 5 gig to work, okay? And item number 2 is enable 9 make cursor byte. It's been there since Yosemite for flickering or something. Now this one right here for the HDMI audio to patch from Rehab Man. There's many of them, but these 2 give me the HDMI sound. So everything else is disabled. See this? Disable. Disable. Now also this one, enable internal display after sleep. This one got to be on. So RT variable, what do? Booter config is 28. Active config, Rehab Man said disable all. It's not going to kill anything, so I disable all, which is 67. Or you can use 03, which is partially enabled. SM BIOS to create yourself. I use the MacBook Air, okay? 6.2 because it's i7. So system parameters. So inject system ID, yes. inject kext detect, and no cache is no, always boot with cache. This one here and MLB and ROM here, this is the one that make my iMessage and FaceTime works. Okay, I just leave it like that since Yosemite until now. So this is the config file for my almost perfect El Capitan. Alright, you can do whatever you want as long as it works for you, but this is how mine works. ACPI we did. The driver 64-bit use EFI we did. The next one is the kexts. For our Capitan is 1011. So inside here I have a HCI port injector, fake SMC, that's a must-have, and Voodoo PS2 controller kext. This one is from Rehab Man also. And this one is a version 1.815, which I've been using backlight keyboard to work. Keyboard to turn brighter or dimmer. The fixed SMC kext I've been using is the old version since forever. It's December 17, 2014, 611-285. So you can go to Rehabman website and get a newer one, but because it works, I don't touch it. Now patching, I have a tutorial on how to patch this, and every time you patch something, you name it, track of what you patch. And when you find a perfect one, just use that one. What kind of kext we need for all these to work? CPI battery management kext is for this one here. Port injector HCI to make sure that it works, because of the BIOS doesn't have the option for it. Apple HDA, this one's the one that ALC 282 patch, so we can get this one, internal speaker and internal microphone, okay, and HDMI. Okay, so the next one is BRCM firmware repo from Rehabman, and the patch RAM2 for this Bluetooth to work, right? And fake SMC from Rehabman also. This one is for the 94-352, and this one is for HD4400. This one is a fake PCI ID kext. Fake SMC is needed. IO USB host family kext. You need to patch this for the USB to work. So I have a tutorial on that one. 811. So let's plug in the Ethernet and check here and see if it's working. So network, Ethernet now, just connected. Perfect. Now disconnect it. See. Perfect. Alright. So what else do I need? Voodoo PS2 controller kext. This one is for Rehabman also, for the trackpad. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, so this is our Capitan on HP X360. Now I'm going to put this one to sleep with a push button, okay? So let's see how long it will take this guy to go to sleep with the USB connected hard drive. Alright, it's take 30 seconds for this guy to go to sleep. Okay, this is our Capitan. Sleep. Two minutes or so. Because a lot of trees are now sleeping. So it takes practically almost 1.5 minutes for it to go to sleep. Wow. Because there's a lot of programs running, so that's why. Alright, open it up. Okay, so I get back up. Alright. On El Capitan, most of the failure is the USB after it wakes up. So we check and see if it works. This is a 3.0 external hard drive. And this is 2.0 external hard drive. And this is another 3.0 external hard drive. So I plugged all 3 ports in there. And we need to check and see if the Bluetooth is still working. So I'm going to turn this one on, which is my headphone. Connected to my headphone. So that means the Bluetooth works after wake. The sound works. All the USB ports working. So that's a perfect system. El Capitan. Okay. So that's my Clover.